All right, everybody, welcome back to another r/OffMyChest. We're going to be doing an hour-long video today. It's going to be some really great confessions that we're getting into, so kick back, relax, and enjoy for the next hour. The first post is going to be from Tessa75. She stated, he gave her in 2 months what he didn't give me in 12 years. I want to die. It's very sad to hear. I hope you don't want to die. There's many things to live for. So it starts off with, we've been together for more than a decade. No ring, no marriage, no children. I'm almost 35 now. I met him at 21, and he left me twice. First, on Valentine's Day last year, we got back together this summer, and then he left me again at end of October, 2 weeks before my birthday. He wanted time to think about it. He didn't know if he wanted a breakup or just a break. He was confused. I didn't give him time and blocked him only on Insta and WhatsApp. I didn't think that he would reach me. So, end of February, he texted me on iMessage telling me that he waited to be unblocked and that it didn't happen and that he misses me more than ever. Then a second message the 19th of March to wish me Eid Mubarak. I don't know if I pronounced that properly. Sorry if I butchered that. Then nothing else. So, I didn't know what to do and I was hurt. And just 2 short messages like this, I thought he would do the same thing he did and leave me again. If I take him back, couldn't answer I wanted it. If I take him back, couldn't answer I wanted it, but every day I couldn't text him. That was some weird text right there. And didn't know what to do. I decided to text him this weekend, so 3.5 months after his message and almost 8 months after the breakup. He told me that he came to my place/neighborhood every day, couldn't see me, called me and texted me, didn't receive a call. In these 8 months, when you block on WhatsApp, it doesn't block iMessage/calls, and I received his message in February, ... He told me he wanted me again. That's why he reached me on Mars, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, do you still want me? Do you still want me/be together, blah, blah? He said that is not because he want me and be together, that it could be even possible to be together and that everything will be fine. That I don't deserve him today and that he go out a lot. When he said that, I understood that there was a woman. And I asked him, he told me that there is a woman and he has been with her for 2 months and that he had no more home with me because it didn't answer him, blah, blah. I asked him if he is in love with her. He told me if that was the case, he wouldn't think about me every day and be confused with a lot of questions. When he says that he doesn't love her, I don't believe him. He told me that he wants me in his life, but doesn't know how, maybe friend or for his guilt, or to be good together. So if that doesn't work with the other woman, I'm still there. I don't know. What I know is that is almost summer/festival season, and he does out a lot, is always with her enjoying life when I want to die. I'm guessing she's saying he's always out with her instead of being with her, and now she wants to die because of that. It's very sad. When we were together in the beginning of our relations, he wanted things to be slow, not see each other every day, didn't like going out, always with his friends, etc., etc. With her, I know he would give her every day I wanted into. While I waited for my whole life with him for every day, I don't drink alcohol. I think she drinks alcohol, so he enjoys and have fun with her. Well, me, even if I like to party, etc., maybe he thought I was never fun and kept me as a safety, but I was not the love of his life. I have no friends, nobody to go out with. I'm 35. These 2 years, my beauty faded a lot. I feel ugly, disgusting. I don't work. / no money. Last 2 years, I was in depression. He is a real estate broker. I was with him when he had nothing. Now he has a lot of money, a big car, his apartment, everything goes out a lot to enjoy his youth a second time. Crisis, I don't know. Maybe she's saying he has a midlife crisis or quarter life crisis at 35 or however old he is. While I have lost everything, came back to my mom at almost 35. It's painful for me, but also for my mom. He didn't even apologize to her. He told her that he would marry me. How to get over someone you've been more than a decade with and could be with someone else so easily. How to get over that I will never find someone who is live with me and not have children. I have social anxiety. It's very difficult for me to talk to people with or to date. I end up alone and without youth. I always alone in my 20s while he was partying with friends, so I was his safety. At least if we had a child, it would have been easy. So sunk cost false. I don't know what that says. Thank you for your help. Maybe that's what they were saying. Wow, that was a difficult read. I thought I was reading something way out of my my intellect, but I just think they didn't have the best grammar. All right, through some paraphrasing and rereading it a couple of times, I think I figured out that basically he's been with another woman for 2 months. That obviously from the title you can see that. They've been together for 12 years, and he is so committed to her and spending every day with her now, and that's all she ever wanted was to have more time spent with her and, maybe marriage. I couldn't tell if she wanted kids or not. Clearly she was his person, but he went out a lot and partied, so honestly, maybe they just were never compatible is what I'm kind of getting from this, because it seemed like that he's been this way since they've been together, and she was more so the opposite, more reserved, didn't go out, didn't drink, stuff like that. And so I'm kind of just, what I'm grasping from this is that maybe they were not that compatible, and maybe, she does have trouble meeting people, but someone that's a bit more reserved and okay with being inside most of the time or not going out and drinking would probably be more her route. And she's saying that he was being at her house every day and texting and calling, and clearly it doesn't seem to portray that based off of what she's saying. The messages still came through. It sounds to me like he might also just be lying to keep. I think she may be right. He's just keeping her as a backup option if things don't work out, which just really sucks. No one wants to be a second option, so I can totally understand her frustration. Let's move on to these comments. All right, let's hop into these comments. So the first one starts off with, it honestly boggles my mind why it is so difficult for people to simply value their own efforts. Why even give someone a second chance if they don't value your efforts at the first instance? Is it that difficult to value only those who value you? I mean, I think you have a point here. Definitely seems like he was prioritizing other things over her, and as I was saying, it just seems like they may not have been the most compatible people, and she should have found someone that is going to do the things that she wants, and not that she has to beg for, or, after 12 years find someone else doing it for them, that the things that she wanted. So it's pretty terrible. That was from Aggressive Aspect 8757. Now the next comment is from Redditor Easy Answer 6277. I will tell you the ugly truth. You're his backup plan. You find other options while being his backup, or do the odd possible. Leave him. The beauty fading part is your perspective. Take care of yourself regardless of his love. Absolutely. Be confident in yourself no matter what. And, you have to be honest with yourself at the end of the day. If no one's going to be honest with you, at least at the end of the day, you're going to be honest with yourself. At least I'd hope that, That's the one person you can definitely depend on at the end of the day is yourself. And then finally, third Redditor, Rafa Dude. Be glad you don't have to deal with him anymore, and no kid to be hurt by him. That's a good point. She is only 35. She doesn't have to live for the rest of her life. She's so young at 35. She could have a beautiful, plentiful life with somebody else, and even, potentially bear children in the next little bit. With the advances in medicine, modern medicine, people are having children into their 40s. So definitely still possible if that's something she wants. Now we're moving on to a really juicy one. This one's called From Fatal Blonde, and it is labeled, My boyfriend has wet the bed for months. The room now smells like a public toilet. I don't know how to break up with him. This is going to be good. I don't even know where to start with this. I'm not going to release majority main details on us because I know he has read it, and I don't know if he'll see this. Me and my partner have been dating for about just over a half a year. I came into the relationship pretty messed up from being abused in my past relationship and over the years. He had treated me amazing but had a few flaws. The first night he stayed, he didn't tell me about his condition and wet the bed. He freaked out and cried and told me it was a condition and a lot of things that didn't make sense. He kept going back and forth and now about how nothing worked and he's in his 20s. He told me he had been facing it since he was 8, so for months I thought he was abused. Oh, wow. He has pissed the bed almost every single night since, and if it was just his condition, he would have ways to resolve it. Unfortunately, he just sleeps in it. He'll wake up about an hour after and just put a towel under him, and if we have no towels, he'll use the same towel he peed on to dry himself off with. That's how my dad found out because he left it in the bathroom. We have a massive bed, the master bedroom, etc. I sleep away from him because I get hot at night, and because he's quite bigger than me, I can't crawl over him to get off the bed in the morning, so I scoot down to the bottom and get on with my morning routine. And a lot of the time, I don't notice how much he's pissed until he leaves it for me to clean. What? It got to the point where he left it so much for me to clean that I stopped and left it for him to do for himself, which he didn't do, didn't go to the doctors, and didn't get diapers. Once my friend found out, he brought me a shit ton of cleaning products. I took the sheet off and the mattress had a massive yellow circle. Was mustard yellow and absolutely reek. Ugh. I'm imagining that. That's when the smell of our room started bad. My nose hurts smelling it. It doesn't even smell like piss. It smells like moldy cheese and vinegar up close in just a public bathroom when you walk in. I'm sick of it. After my dad found out, he absolutely lost it. He forced him to buy diapers, otherwise he'd kick him out, and now has to replace a $4,000 mattress. $4,000. I know that's kind of like, there's way more expensive mattresses than that, but pissing on a $4,000 mattress is crazy. My dad said he's also pissed all over the floor and walls in the bathroom in the middle of the night and left it. It's gotten to the point where I don't want to be around him or in the room. He nags at me consistently. He always jealous, says he has anxious attachment issues, doesn't let me have the future I want to have, and wants me to isolate me from people I love because they don't like him for his lies and laziness. And when I say laziness, I mean he wasn't abused as a child. He games 24/7, and he was mummied since birth. Oh, like, I think that mom took care of everything. He doesn't clean up after himself. He makes a mess in my house. I have to clean a room every single day. He has absolutely poor hygiene and hurts me so bad in the first 3 months of relationship. But I just tried to push through it. Ooh. He cries to me constantly, wants to talk, in quotations, all the time, wakes me up at random hours of the night crying, and I used to wake him up to him trying to go on my phone. When I got a new phone, I changed my password because it got so invasive and I couldn't sleep. I still barely do. And when he feels like he's losing me, he sends me paragraph after paragraph, and I just feel ... nothing. What do I even say to him? I mean, I care about him and I want the best for him. I can't say I don't or didn't love him, but what I've said is only the surface of our problems. Edit. I have low self-respect from past abuse and hold high standards but never look for them as I don't believe I'm good enough for it. I've questioned if it's a fetish or just pure laziness or whether he really does have a condition. I just saw him unpack and put on a diaper he ordered. I mean, at least he's doing it right. At least he's doing right by it, but I just can't tolerate this anymore. It's putting me off, making me want to find happiness in being single and independent. My dad is on my side, but he also sees the good in my partner, which I too do see. He just has so many things, especially pissing in the bed. But that has gotten to me too bad and has crossed the line way too far in the past. And now trying to throw me under the bus, it's hard to see where my dad stands with it but I think I've definitely made up my mind, especially because I can't even be in my own room for so long without feeling sick and dizzy. That's just terrible. Also, to answer another FAQ, I have tried to get him to buy waterproof mattress protectors, like the proper ones that zip around the bed, and go to the doctors. He promises he will, and then I wait for ages and he forgets, in quotations. We have a house inspection this Thursday, please God. And no, this is 100% unfortunately real and not rage bait. Wow, people really thinking this was so fake that it's so crazy that it's fake. That is insane. That is an insane story to be unpacking here. Now, how it got this bad or how it got this long is beyond me. Hopping into my take, of course. First thing I'd say, one word: run, or well, kick him out. Because I feel like this is past the point where you could even do anything to help. I mean, a grown man peeing on himself is super unfortunate. I understand it's a condition, but as you're saying, it seems like he doesn't go through the proper routes to get the help, and peeing all over the walls and the floor, just leaving it there. I mean, those alone, apart from the waking me up in the middle of the night, going through your phone, not trusting you, so on and so forth. I mean, I'm all for checking your partner's phone at certain times, or I think like that's okay with reason, but every single night or to like send you paragraph after paragraph, and I'm sure you feel trapped, and I'm sure he's also playing on the previous issues you've had in your past relationships, and it seems like the self-respect things that you trouble with or deal with on your own personal side, that he almost exploits those and knows that you're just gonna deal with it. And so I think that what you'd have to do is the impossible, or what he'd think is the impossible, and actually leave him and be the one to to force him to either get out and change, or that you're not going to stand up with it, because clearly he's been dealt with it his entire life. As you're saying, he's been mummy, and I'm guessing that's like his mom did everything for him. And so I think that the best route for you would be to be sleeping in a piss-free bed every night and not have to wake up to a pissy mattress and an emotionally unresponsive and lazy partner. That's just absurd. I don't know how you could wait this long. I figure these are going to be some pretty good comments. Let's go ahead and hop into these. The first one is from Pirate. I can't believe what I just read. Stop this. Ask your dad for help if he won't leave, but to continue this life is unacceptable. Also, take a serious long look at yourself. Good luck. I mean, Pirate, you're kind of right. I mean, you do have to do some self-reflection on why you would allow this to even happen. And I know you've kind of accepted and, added on to why you would accept this, but at the end of the day, I think that the way you build that self-respect back up for yourself is to not allow this to happen. That's terrible. Comment number 2. Jesus Christ, the bar is in hell, huh? You say, I am not okay with your hygiene habits or your extremely insecurity, and I do not want to live like this. I'm breaking up with you. You have to move out by blank day and pay for replacing X, Y, and Z, assuming he lives at your place, which I think it's kind of clear that he does. You can add that you cared about him while you were together, and that you wish him the best for the future, but there is no chance whatsoever of you guys getting back together or fixing this. Do not soften this message. And for future reference, his behavior is insanely abnormal for an adult. And when people talk about pushing/working through some problems in the relationship, or that relationships are work, this is not what they mean. Relationships take work means that in a relationship, both of you should be working on being the best versions of yourself and being a good partner in the team. Not that one person needs to work on getting rid of/ignoring all their standards, so that the other person could be as vile and inconsiderate as humanly possible. Wow. Yeah, I think it's just a good take, but you definitely need to be very firm whenever you're talking to them, because he's clearly going to, harp and cry and try and get you to beg to take him back, and you have to hold your ground, because this is definitely going to be a tough situation for you to get out of. I don't think he's going to make it easy, but with enough persistence, I'm sure you will be able to fix it. Third comment. The last comment was by Redditor Komatsu Kiwi. And the third one is by glittering_syllabub9. Jesus effing Christ, you are not a hostage. You're entertaining another abuser in, I guess, your dad's house, letting him piss everywhere and cleaning his disgusting messes. This is his choice. Very clear it's his choice. He doesn't want anything to change in this arrangement, and you are allowing him to keep going. I can guarantee you that you also smell like mold and piss, and everyone does notice. You've been together for 6 effing months. The effing piss problem is huge on its own, but he is also jealous, messy, unhonest, clingy, and whiny. He is already trying to isolate you and stop you to reach your own goal and growth. This is abuse. What the F are you doing, girl? Leave him and learn to survive on your own for a while. If you don't have enough balls to kick him out of your own, ask your dad to help you. Do not continue this relationship. I can't believe what I have read. Please leave him. It is a pretty disgusting and unfortunate situation, but I don't even know. I think this is like therapist level, a relationship trauma that you need. And then, someone else commented, sleep deprivation is also abuse. He isn't allowing her good rest. He is constantly waking you up, whether that be intentional or from him lurking and creeping on your phone. That definitely, good rest is a very important part of being able to maintain a good immune system, emotions, things like that. So it seems like he's definitely doing some many levels of manipulation and getting you to stay, even though he knows he's a terrible partner. Alrighty, we got story number 3 here. Wife not invited to her brother's wedding by Mark M4RK Y Boy. I think it means Marky Boy. The situation, my brother-in-law excluded my wife from his wedding. Now he's mad at our kids aren't coming to his after party. My brother-in-law is getting married soon, and the way he has handled his wedding invitations has caused a massive rift in our family. I'm looking for someone outside perspective on whether we are in the wrong here, because we are baffled by his behavior. Part 1, the wedding snub. When the wedding invitations went out, my wife, his sister, never received one. For weeks, she was left wondering if it was just lost in the mail or if it had genuinely forgotten her. Even my mother-in-law and father-in-law were completely in the dark and didn't know if this was a mistake or an intentional snub. Brother-in-law never reached out to clarify or talk to his sister. After a couple months of silence, my in-laws finally found out the whole truth. My wife was deliberately not invited. My wife was absolutely devastated. She always just assumed that she would be there to see her brother get married and not be excluded without a word or a massive blow. Part 2, the celebration compromise. Instead of having everyone at the actual wedding, brother-in-law and his fiancée decided to hold a casual wedding celebration / after party about a month after the big day. Our entire family was invited to this event. We tried to make it work, but our family has scheduling and personal conflicts. Our oldest daughter, a year ago, long before the wedding was ever announced, she booked and planned an important event with her friend. She cannot attend the celebration. Our youngest daughter, she suffers from severe anxiety, has been in therapy, and is working incredibly hard to get comfortable around crowds. She explicitly told us she does not feel ready or comfortable attending the celebration. That sucks. My wife and I talked it over. Despite being deeply hurt about being excluded from the actual wedding, my wife decided to take the high road. She agreed to attend the celebration alone, while I stayed home to support and look after our youngest daughter. Part 3, the fallout. When brother-in-law found out our daughters weren't coming, he lost his temper. Instead of being understanding, he insulted our children. He accused our youngest daughter of faking her anxiety or claiming it isn't that bad, and he accused our oldest daughter of not caring about him because she wouldn't cancel plans that she made a year ago. My wife is now incredibly upset all over again. She tried to do the right thing by supporting him at his party despite his massive snub, and in return he attacked our kids. Wow. I mean, so many questions. For my take, first, why didn't he invite her originally? That's a big question. 2, why the absolute hell did you not punch him in the face for talking about your children? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have a daughter, and if anyone were to be talking about her or saying she's faking something, especially if she do have some true anxiety around crowds, then, like, I would be absolutely furious, regardless of if it's your day or not. Like, you don't have the right to talk about anybody, especially someone's children, that way. Him excluding his sister, unfortunately, I think you can be upset about that, but I really think that's up to him at the end of the day. I think, no one's entitled to be at your wedding, but, I mean, I can understand the heartbreak and sadness that the sister's feeling, absolutely. That overall, it just seems like a really crappy situation. I wish I had more background information. I'm sorry that you had a family member talk about your family that way. That's really terrible, or about your children that way, rather. And hopefully y'all can find some compromise or somewhere in the middle and everybody see everyone's side. But I definitely would not be talking to the individual unless they made a massive apology towards my family, or at the end of the day, if they wanted to be enough of a dickhead and I had to force it out of them, I wouldn't get that far and I would just cut him out of my life completely, because it's clear that he doesn't want you in his life. Hopping on to the comments. There's only 2 on this one. The first one is by RR-Mimi3611. So what was his reasoning for not inviting her originally? Right. I think everybody's asking that question, Mimi. And then the last one is, I can't read all this. Any chance for a TLDR? I mean, it wasn't really that long. They just had some weird spacing throughout, for sure. Alrighty. So this is from poster Section Spirited 7790. Boyfriend said my cosplay looks off because of my skin color. Had to repost because in my update I called my ex a bad word and this sub didn't like it, so it got removed. Okay, so there's gonna be some explicitives. So my boyfriend is white and I'm black. This is the first white guy I've ever dated. We've been dating for 7 months now, but I don't think we can come back from this. So yesterday was his birthday and I planned to dress up as one of his favorite female characters. He really loves dark/gothic characters like Misa from Death Note or Medusa from Soul Eater. No clue what either of them look like. So I decided I was going to cosplay Misa as a gift for him. I didn't buy a full cosplay outfit because those are expensive, so I just bought real clothes and modified them for myself to look nice and look more like the character. I had a wig that was close to their hair color, and I wore that day too. I prepared all this for him. I even left early from work yesterday so we could go out together that day. We meet with some friends for dinner, and we got back to my place. I gave him the cake, and I made in a present I got him. Then after I told him I had a surprise and got dressed in the outfit I prepared, when I came out, I thought he would be surprised or happy, but he looked at me like he was confused and he asked me why I was wearing that. I told him I did it for him, and his response was, "You didn't have to." Like, what? So, shit, I didn't have to, but I did it for you for your birthday. I told him that and asked him if he liked it, and he told me I looked pretty, but also wasn't into it. I asked why, since he has told me before that he likes things like roleplay and cosplay. And he said my cosplay ruins the immersion. I asked him what that meant, and he got really quiet. I thought at first that maybe it was because of how I styled the outfit. It wasn't a professionally cosplayed by any means, but I tried really hard to make it look nice. I asked him over and over to tell me why he didn't like it, and finally he told me it's because the character isn't black, so my cosplay looks off. I mean, at least he was honest, I guess. I was effing flabbergasted. I was hurt and angry, and I felt so stupid in that moment. He tried to apologize, saying he didn't want to say it and tell me how he appreciated the gesture. And I just stopped him and asked if me being black is a problem for him. He immediately got defensive and said that's not what he was trying to say, and that he still cared about me, blah blah. It's not like he didn't know I was black from the moment he met me. And why would he tell me if he likes tell me he likes my cosplay if he doesn't want me doing the cosplay? Or tell me he likes cosplay if he doesn't want me doing cosplay? And why would my skin color affect the cosplay so much that you think it breaks the immersion and tell me I look off? I was honestly so angry at this point, and I just told him to leave. He again got defensive and said he didn't want to leave and that it was his birthday, so he wanted to spend it with me. But I was honestly trying not to yell and go off on him, so I again just told him to leave and said we will talk about it later. I think that's a respectable and responsible thing to do. When he finally left, I felt so effing embarrassed. Like I spent 3 weeks getting that outfit together and it wasn't cheap. Wow, 3 weeks. I spent a lot of time sewing the two skirts together. I even did it by hand because I don't have a sewing machine. And I spent a lot of time and money buying his gift and making his cake just for him to tell me he doesn't like my skin color on his favorite character. I'm pissed beyond words. I mean, I see where you're coming from. Absolutely. First, thanks for all the responses. I guess I'll read the update first. And you were mostly very kind, and I genuinely appreciated all the nice words. Some comments made me laugh, others made me feel vindicated, and there was one or two that made me tear up, so seriously, thank you guys. Second, I broke up with him. He had been blowing up my phone for the last 2 days, and I've been leaving him on red. He'd been apologizing a lot and telling me he didn't mean to hurt my feelings. He said he cares about me a lot, and he loves my skin color. He said he thought the outfit was beautiful, but he likes me more traditional cosplay, and kept trying to feed me more shit he pretends is chocolate. I ignored it, and with my BFF on call with me to give me strength, I sent these texts. Hey, so I've been thinking about what you said on your birthday, and honestly, I can't get past it. I put a lot of time and effort and money into that outfit because I wanted to do something special for you. I was excited about it, and instead of appreciating it and the thought behind it, you couldn't get past the fact that I was the wrong color for you. That wasn't just hurtful, it was racist and incredibly disrespectful. You know, I don't usually dress up like that, but I did it for you because I wanted to make you happy. You said some genuinely effed up things, and it completely changed the way I see you. I don't want any money back for the gift, the cosplay, or anything else. I'm not interested in arguing about it or hearing excuses. I just think it would be best if we broke it off here. I deserve to be with someone who values and respects me. After what you said, I know you're not that person. I immediately blocked him after I sent this. I really don't want to hear his response. But this really sucks that 7 months of my life was lost because of this. Like, I've had guys tell me to my face that they don't think I'm attractive because I'm black. And I honestly prefer guys like that over guys who tolerated me for being with me for who knows what reason. Although I don't regret breaking up with him, it still hurts and it probably will for a while. My best friend said I was being too nice in my text, but I'd rather leave knowing that I kept my character intact. But I'm anonymous, so F you, Anthony. Wow, that's definitely a very interesting story to say the least. All right, let's hop on to story number 5. So this one's going to be called Want to Vent Here because most people in my life are sick of hearing about it. Okay, means you talk about it a lot, clearly. Neat Smoke 4468 is the Redditor today. Hello, everyone. Hello, Neat Smoke 4468. I, female, 22, went through quite a rough time last year with my ex, male, 23. He was my first boyfriend. He also told me I was the first girl he had ever been with. I was absolutely smitten by him, and I thought things were going really well between us, and we had only been together a couple months before he went away for the entire summer on a working visa to a different country. This was hard on me mentally, but he reassured me that nothing would change between us, and that he would pick things back up when he came back in the fall. I know it's very cheesy and cliche, but I really did see a solid future with him, and I didn't have eyes for anyone else at all. Fast forward a few weeks of him being there, everything starts going downhill. I'm recovering from surgery, which is already difficult enough, and he's making things worse by not being supportive and barely communicating with me. Eventually, I reached my breaking point and sent him quite a lengthy text asking for some communication and clarification. I get no response, and he goes on to completely ghost me and shut me out of his life. A few weeks go by, and I still hear nothing from him. He keeps posting on Instagram stories of him and this girl together, and that's when it hit me. He was cheating on me, and he wasn't even trying to hide it. Fast forward a few weeks, when he comes back home, and I block him on everything and try to move on with my life. However, it affected me so badly that I had a breakdown and had to go on antidepressants for a few months. Wow. One random day, I am scrolling on TikTok, and the girl he cheated on me with comes up on my FYP, my For You page, doing a live stream. Curiosity gets the better of me, and I click to watch. She's guessing about her man, my ex, and talking about all the great things they did together last summer and how he came back to visit her for his birthday. She then goes on to say that she would have liked to get married and have kids with him, and that this is real deal love. She says that they have discussed these things, and it probably will happen. He also bought her a promise ring, and she was showing it off to everyone in the live. She also mentioned that she will move to the city where both my ex and I are from later this year, so I'm assuming they will probably be moving in together at least. One of my friends went on a group holiday a few weeks ago, and of course my ex was there because they used to go to high school together, and they are both friends with the guy who organized this trip. My friend told me that my ex spent a while moping about the girl he cheated on me with, talking about how long distance is so difficult and that it's hard to call her every late every night. Meanwhile, when we were doing long distance, he didn't call me once and didn't even discuss it as an option. This is really making me overthink and question whether or not he ever liked me in the first place. How come he's able to do this for her, but didn't even try when he came to me? This incident has absolutely shattered my heart, and I can't get my head around it. I know it has nothing to do with my character because I did nothing wrong, but my brain has quite literally been rewired to think that if I do or say the wrong things, I'll be abandoned by everyone important in my life. I don't want to bring it up to my family or friends anymore because some of them get annoyed and tell me just to get over it and move on. I was treated quite poorly by a lot of people in my life who told me I was just being dramatic and sensitive. I just feel so extremely isolated, and this has affected my confidence on every level. The emotional pain from this is genuinely becoming unbearable to deal with, and I'm not sure what else I'm supposed to do. I think this will haunt me for the rest of my life and affect any intimate/romantic relationships I ever have again going forward. I find myself in my head every single day comparing myself to her and asking what she had that I didn't. I would love for someone to just say to me that I'm not crazy and this is actually a fucked up situation. Wow, absolutely, I can totally understand that. In all honesty, Neat Smoke 4468. Um, I think you were just with a pretty disingenuous guy. It seems. I'd be willing to put money that you're not the first girl he's been with, and that he's kind of just a player. You know, he's clearly playing the girl back at the in the other country that he went on, quote unquote, vacation or work to, and not reaching out to you kind of just shows how little he cared about keeping that connection with you. It's unfortunate to say, and I'm sure it's not necessarily what you wanted to hear, but I think it's pretty clear that this guy doesn't care for you nearly as much as you care for him. And I think that one, comparing yourself is going to just lead to heartbreak and more issues with your own self confidence and, plenty of other multitude of problems that can arise from that. But more importantly, I think you're just going to slip yourself back into a depression, like you, as you're saying, by doing this, and that's the last thing that anybody wants. I think that, in all honesty, I think obviously getting over it is easier said than done, and talking about it is one of the best ways to get over things, expressing how you feel and how it affected you. But more importantly, finding things to replace and give you time to, process those things without like just sitting there thinking about it. Whether that be working out or an activity. I don't know, like chess or something. I know I bring up working out because it's really great for your mental health. There's some natural endorphins and things that are released from that, along with just the overall satisfaction. Or just every day you setting yourself up a small goal that you can accomplish and that you can feel confident about doing. It's really building up those little things that are going to help you get out of these situations. I don't think you're crazy for feeling this way. I don't know How long were you together? You said you'd only been together for a few months before he left, so maybe it definitely seems like you should work on taking things a bit slower and not getting so attached to people so quickly. I'm sure that him saying those sweet nothings to you and made you feel secure and safe and wanting to just throw yourself at him and jump into this relationship. But I think that you can reflect and see that this is what caused you to be in the situations to get cheated on is giving people your trust too quickly. And so I think this will be definitely a big life lesson for you, and that in due time you will get past this and you'll be on to bigger and better relationships. Maybe not bigger, but better, hopefully. All right, guys, another really short comment section, just one comment. This is from Cherry Blossom. I'm sorry, girl. My heart sank when you say you found her TikTok. Everything you're feeling is valid. It takes time to move on, and it also takes distance from both of them. Absolutely. He's doing more for her because different people, different dynamics. Someone else's turn isn't proof he weren't enough to do those things for. Even he said it's basically a chore to call his new girlfriend. He doesn't deserve any girlfriend. You deserve better. Time and space will help you with the intensity. I 100% agree with you, Cherry Blossom. Time and space are going to be the number one things to help you, and you know, not necessarily being a distraction not to think about it, but to surround yourself with other thoughts and things to show you that there are other things in this world and that you don't have to just be sad over a relationship. Totally normal to be sad, though. Seeing her on TikTok, I kind of forgot about that. That is pretty wild, and you know, her bragging about essentially the boyfriend that you thought you had. And in reality, it just sucks because I think that she's going to go through something similar that you did, that you're going through right now, in a short time span or sometime soon. And that's pretty unfortunate because I'm sure you wouldn't want someone else to feel the way you're feeling, and it's probably how she's going to end up feeling. But yeah, you definitely deserve better, and he clearly doesn't respect relationships or the women that he's been getting relationships with, so he has to do some serious self-reflection as well to even consider or potentially be a good partner. Alrighty, let's move on to the next story. Alrighty, so we got story number 6 here. This one's coming to you from Throw RA-Monochrome. This is from r/OffMyChest, of course, where we've been reading everything from. I'm a failed idol with nothing to show for. Disclaimer, I apologize if there's a lot of things missing, and if there's any misspelling or grammar errors. Writing this while being emotional is difficult. I'm willing to explain more if needed. I'm sure it's difficult. I'm 20 female, and am a failed idol. I'm not sure where to begin, but for context, I've been performing since I was a child under a party entertainment company to help my family financially under my mother's supervision. Now, I'm at a different party entertainment company with a new group, but can't do anything due to problems with ice. I'm guessing it shows an ice cube, and we're losing everything: followers, attention, etc. Or maybe snow. Maybe there's bad weather. I don't really know. I'm guessing ice, like the police. I guess this is just really hitting me hard, and I know people wouldn't be able to relate, but I really need to tell someone. I've been working as an idol, quote unquote, since I was in elementary school to now. I would sacrifice my childhood to practice dancing, singing, acting, and do exercises with a whole bunch of other people in hopes of getting picked. It was a small company, but we had enough till the numbers started decreasing due to lack of improvements. I wouldn't stop even when I got home because my mother kept pressuring how I need to do this for her and for my family. I just feel so dumb listening to her. There's so much abuse that goes on in this line of work, from terrible management or staff members. It hurts remembering. You'll get groomed by higher up, and then that would promise that you would succeed in exchange for something, and I hate everything about it. People would get pressured since it would technically all pay off, in quotations. It never felt right to me, but you can't help it when the only place you feel comfortable and safe is on stage, because no one can touch you or be near you. I hated taking punishments from my teammates, but I know they were young like me, and I didn't want them to go through anything worse than ever. Worse than ever? Maybe worse than she was going through. My arms are filled with scars, and I hate looking at them. I hate remembering all of it. There's creeps everywhere, from management, other indie groups, to fans who are either the same age or older. They'll keep pressuring you to do things or act a certain way with them, especially when they to gift items with hidden devices. Oh, gifting you devices. That's disgusting. You can tell if they're thinking their sick own fantasies towards you, the way they look, speak, and their movements. It's all disgusting and sick. I hate everyone. I hate my fans. I feel like no one deserved me. I shouldn't have been there. My body is permanently marked now and won't go away. My face is on every group-related product-related items. I hate seeing my face. And when people bring items that has them, there's no privacy when you go outside, especially in a small town. People will look and stare at you and want to talk to you, whether it's family or friends or going to appointments. Everyone's just staring at you like you don't belong there. Sorry for the sidetrack. After changing companies due to constant abuse, I landed with another similar company but more indie. At first, when our group was set and ready and everyone was getting to know each other, everything was fine, you know? Releasing music, gaining followers, doing fan meetups, cute small promotions. Due to budget. Oh, cut small promotions probably, due to a budget. But we really hit a major decline due to problems with immigration officers showing up around my area more than frequent. Some of my teammates are at risk but waiting for their green cards, so we were forced to put everything at a halt. We weren't allowed to perform or do anything out in public since we were told to protect ourselves and only do online content. TikToks, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, etc. But we were on our own now, since some of us live somewhat far from each other. We keep watching our views decline from when we were together as a group to now. We never really record or did stuff on our own, but we're trying, but it's not making an impact. Things are slow, and we're showing nothing for it. We're losing funding because of how much we are making. Because how are we making money? We all, of course, work at our own respected jobs, like how I work as a cashier. Isn't any better because of what I said earlier, but money flows, so what can you do? We're all trying to get our best, but we feel like this is the end of it all, and all of our hard work and tough torment was all for nothing, sacrificing our childhoods with nothing to show in the end besides our small peak and old costumes. I don't know, just yapping, feeling kind of dumb because I need to grow up. Edit. Being as vague as possible, I feel like being in details about everything wouldn't be suitable for people with weak stomachs or would raise major concerns. That's terrible. Alrighty, guys. So we're hopping into the last story here. This is story number 7. That's pretty wild. For these long videos, definitely got to get some good stories for y'all. This one's going to be called, or by Redditor, burn_it down 13. A little bit of anarchist going on here. I'm not trans, but my trans friend keeps insisting I am. I don't want to fall out, but I feel like we're going to keep if they keep pushing this on me. I feel like we're going to if they keep pushing this on me. Ooh, this should be interesting. Okay, this is complicated and sensitive, to say the least. And I'm not trying to politicize this, but I just don't think where else to vent. I just don't know where else to vent without outing myself and risking upsetting people. I'm a bisexual tomboy and came out 20 years ago, to no one's surprise. I've always been a bit more masculine presenting, even as a child. I would wear my brother's hand-me-downs, and I still wear men's clothing day to day because it's comfortable for me. But I like more feminine clothing when I want to wear it. I mean, dude clothing is definitely a lot more comfortable, even for the ladies. Like, my fiance loves wearing my boxers and my shirts, I mean, at the end of the day. Some context. I have always been more attracted to girls. I did have a mild gender crisis as a teen and thought that my hairy arms and love of gaming and skateboarding meant I should have been a boy, mainly because I was bullied for it at an all-girls school. But I learned to enjoy being feminine. I guess that's a great, grounds for finding a lady, though. All-female school. No competition. But I learned to enjoy being feminine when I wanted to and masculine when I wanted to. Other than that, brief thought, I've never considered that I might be trans. Then I met my friend who tried to convince me I was trans. This person is trans, was non-binary when I met them, but now have medically transitioned from female to male. I respect their journey and the difficulties they faced in their transition. But it threw me when they started telling me, as well as other people in our friend group, that I am either gender fluid or trans. I would be approached by other people saying, "Oh my gosh, congrats on your decision to transition," when that was never something I wanted to do. And then I looked like an asshole when I tell them I'm definitely not trans, I just like men's clothing, because I wanted pockets and space in my clothing. Emphasis on the pockets. Man, some of these dudes' pants have crazy cargo shorts. If you like pockets, cargo shorts will turn you on. I respect those who chose to transition, but I'm getting angry that this friend seems to be implanting their gender journey onto me. I've spoken to them about how inappropriate it is and how incorrect they are about my gender identity, but they just say, "Oh, that's how I felt. Give it time and you'll see." In response, for further context, I'm in my 30s now. Not that older people can't transition, but I know how I feel, and it's making me very uncomfortable to be told that I'm something that I know I'm not. Understandably so. I don't think this person is trying to hurt me or upset me, but they can't seem to comprehend that my journey is not the same as theirs. I don't want to lose a friend, but I think it's crazy that they've gone to the extent of outing me to mutual friends when, again, I'm not trans, because they believe they know my identity better than me. That in itself is a problem. They post regularly on their social media when they've told this same story online. Their followers seem to agree that I'm in denial or whatever, which is fueling this more. Absolutely. I love this person and they are a good friend, but this is pushing me over the edge. Are they really, if they're doing this to you? At this point, I think the friendship is over, but our group is intertwined. I don't know how everyone else will take it. I just feel stuck. Update. I messaged to say that this isn't okay, and that if they don't stop, I don't want to be friends anymore, and to stop talking about me on social media. Their response, multiple messages copied into one. OMFG, please don't be upset. I'll leave it alone, but I just see you're more comfortable when you're trying to be more laddie, I guess like more like a guy. It's fine, no shade. That's how I was my whole life. Just wanted you to feel safe to come out if you needed that space. But F me though, I guess that's all I wanted and didn't have, so was trying to make you feel safe. Oh, now they're trying to turn this back on you, making you the bad guy. My thoughts, again, I see the inside of them trying to create a safe space for me, but not only does this still insinuate that I require that despite me repeatedly saying I don't, but they're also saying they didn't have a safe space, which is fundamentally incorrect. I've always been supportive of them, and if they couldn't talk to me, our whole friend group, which includes other trans people, by the way, were always available. Me being more comfortable trying to be laddie is crazy to me. I've never trying to be anything other than myself. Like what I don't care if it's more masculine or more feminine. This to me is also pushing gender stereotypes that are archaic. Am I crazy? F me though. They do this a lot, making me feel like a dickhead for voicing my feelings and making me feel guilty. Thank you for everyone for your insights and comments. I'm done with this person. If you think I'm an asshole for that, fair enough. But that response really pissed me off, and I don't think I feel I should grovel for forgiveness for voicing my feelings. Absolutely the hell not. I know partway through, I want to lead off with this. I know partway through you said they're a good friend, and that you love them, and they're a good friend, but at the end of the day, a good friend would not do this, and them trying to say they were just creating a safe space for you is absolute BS, because it doesn't seem like they're creating a safe space for you. It seems like they're trying to make you transition into someone more like them so that they feel as if they have a safer space or are more accepted or feel more okay with their transition, which that in it itself is a whole nother situation, more of a personal thing for them. But the F me then trying to make you feel bad, that is a clear sign of manipulation and trying to make you feel bad for, as you said, sticking up for yourself. That is a terrible thing to do to someone that is trying to be, quote unquote, a good friend. Any good friend would never make you feel bad for voicing how you feel or if they did something wrong that made you feel or that you didn't like. At the end of the day, if you don't like something, someone shouldn't do it. Especially if that's like telling other people that you're trans when you're not. You're just like some feminine might like some masculine or more attracted to females. I mean, like that doesn't make you trans. I mean, that's insane that they're forcing this ideology on you essentially because they think that that's what is right for you. I think that you made the absolute right decision by cutting them off, and I think that you saved yourself from a lot of problems and situations you probably wouldn't have wanted to be in the future. I think that this was probably the best response and best thing for you to do in this situation, and I applaud you for that. Good job. That, I hopefully that doesn't affect the rest of your friend group because I know you said they're intertwined, but at the end of the day, if they can't respect your opinions and they can't see that, you're just trying to protect your peace, if you will, then maybe the friend group isn't the one for you either. Or maybe, some of those people need to do some self reflecting and realize that they aren't creating a safe space and being good friends for you, even if they're under the facade or, trying to say that they are, because that's not what good friends do. All right, now there's a lot of really, really good comments on here. I'm going to read the top ones. The first one upvoted the most is hoisted on your own petard. Petered? What an interesting name. Good friends don't do shit like this. Very simple, very straight to the point, and I couldn't agree more. Rosary Omen responded with exactly this. I never try and convince my cis friends they're trans like me. That's shitty behavior. Cis people are allowed to be present how they like, just like trans people. That friend needs to be cut out of the ops life. Absolutely. Like I was saying, forcing an ideology on you just because they are trans doesn't mean that they have to force you or that you have to transition as well, because as you're saying, you're not. You don't have any interest in that. You are comfortable in your own skin and how you're doing things. A friend should support you and instill you in these things and tell you when you're wrong. Just like people should tell this person they're wrong for trying to insist and trying to get you to transition. That's terrible. And let's say you did, and then you actually ended up regretting it severely and went into a deep depression. Like, I mean, what would they do then? Be like, oh, you'd get used to it? Second post is by Educational Set 3738. They post regularly on social media, and when they've told this story online, their followers seem to agree that I'm in denial or whatever, which is feeling this more. This is immediate grounds for ending this whole friendship, absolutely. With this person, this is not okay. If they try to bring politics into the situation, it would clearly be a manipulation tactic. Absolutely. And the op responded with, I agree, it's not okay to post about someone else when they haven't even consented. It's part of the reason that I am not even more worried about what will happen if we fall out. Their followers know who I am, so I'm scared that if I upset them, I'll be attacked because I know they've done this before, post on socials maybe twice a year. But with my job, if I'm being spammed, it could jeopardize my job that I love. Man, that's a really tough situation to be in, especially I feel like you're going about it in the most professional manner or the best way about it, like just being upfront with them, saying like, I don't appreciate this, and like, setting a boundary, whether you're being respectful about it or not. They clearly aren't respecting you, so it's going to really suck. I'd really hate for something negative to come out of this, or at least on you. Something negative came out of it on them, like they lost friends or their job. I mean, that's kind of the game they're playing by forcing these things onto people. And finally, let's say you were trans. The final comment is by Successful Pen 6795. Let's say you were trans for a moment. Would a good friend out you like this? Rule number 1 of the rainbow. Don't out your friends. Even if it's so in your face what their identity is, it's so disrespectful to do that to someone. It's not their story to tell. The fact that you're not trans adds that extra layer of disrespect because your friend is making up rumors like it's a schoolyard. Gross behavior. I'm not in the LGBTQ plus community, but I am, a cis male, and I think that that's true. Like, I mean, I can agree with that. I don't know the rules of the rainbow other than the Skittles, but rule number 1 of the rainbow is that it seems like the golden rule of the community. So it seems like they're breaking the first rule in a community that you're part of. So that's terrible. And especially talking about it online, like, what if there's somebody else that doesn't agree with those sorts of things, or a bit more on the violent side on how their ideology and how they view things? I mean, it could be really bad for you, especially if they think that you're speaking negatively about a community that they're in. So I wish you the best, and I hope everything turns out and that you're safe from the situation, and that especially that your job's not affected. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining in today. It was definitely a longer video, but we found some good stories, and I hope you enjoyed. Enjoy the last few minutes of this while I'm finishing up the framework of this house. You'll see in the coming videos that we're really putting this thing together. Give me any suggestions that you might want to see done to the house, or if you know any juicy stories where you can find some more confessions like this. Hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you.